Hi guys, it's Emily. Welcome back to my channel. Today I have a flip through for you. This project got out of hand. You're not surprised. I'm not surprised. It originally was going to be a very simple December daily and, you know, very lightly embellished, and, you know, I was just going to keep it simple. I apparently, you know, don't know how to do that. I don't know. It became something of a hybrid. It's ribbon bound because that's just, I was going to do that to begin with. Actually, I was going to attempt to make it small enough to go on binder rings, but that was never going to happen. So it is bound with just red satin ribbon. It is a little golden book from 1979, and I didn't even count the pages. There are a lot, and it is very heavily embellished. There is still a lot of space for writing. There's space for adding photos or, you know, whatever you would want to, you know, add in here. But it is, you know, it's much larger than I anticipated. So let me just kind of show you here. So there's the side with all its floofiness, and then you've got the back, or the, you know, the spine, and the top, and then just the back cover is just the cover. And I used some just, you know, Christmassy trim on the edges, the back edges of the front and back cover, just to kind of cover up the roughness from where I cut it off of the book. All of the pages from the book are in here, so you can read the whole story. They're just separated into 3 sections. So, you know, there aren't really 3 signatures, but there are 3 signatures, if that makes any sense. You'll kind of see a repeating pattern as we go through. There are like 3 of everything, if that makes sense, and then separated throughout. I used these adorable little Christmas light charms. I honestly do not know where these came from, but I found them in my stash, and I attached them to a very thin gold jewelry wire. And then I brought it around the back, and I'm gonna just kind of slide this over a second, make sure I stay in frame. Brought the wire around the back and covered it with some fabric trim, like ribbon, and then I used, this is a piece of Tim Holtz Christmas ephemera, to cover that up as well, just to kind of, you know, to hold everything in place in the back. And then I had this button card from my friend Jody. Her mom was moving into a small, you know, needed to like declutter, and she had a bunch of craft supplies that she gave me, and I was very appreciative. And one of the things was this button card, and these were attached just like this onto the button card. So I just took them off and glued them on to the inside cover. I thought that was kind of cute, a little button Christmas tree. And then, yeah, I think I'm gonna flip through it, and then I'll talk to you about these little envelopes here. It's made mostly of Tim Holtz Christmas ephemera, which you will see throughout, book pages from, well, from the little golden book, and then I had some other, they're newer books about Christmas in the 17 and 1800s, so you'll see that throughout. I also used a kit from Ephemera's Vintage Garden. I think it was just one kit, and it is called Days of December, I believe, and I'll link all of that below. So you'll see that throughout. And then there's also just like tea-dyed papers and envelopes and bags and things of that nature. So you'll see all of that. Anyway, I used these lovely green index card dividers as my like beginning of each signature. So I just decorated the front with a piece of Tim Holtz ephemera. I have a little charm here, some vintage fabric on the side of that. And then to cover up, I just wasn't horribly thrilled. There's letters on the tabs. And I don't know, it needed something. So I used this adorable Santa seam binding and I just stapled that onto the tabs with my tiny attacher. And some of the pages have eyelets and some of the pages just have hole reinforcers on the front and the back that I dyed myself with, I think it is Barn Door Distress ink. So on the inside or on the back side of the index card divider, I made a little booklet or a little notepad out of tea-dyed paper and just used some of that vintage fabric and then this little bow I had in my stash. And that's the same throughout on each of the dividers. And then here are your first pages from the book. This is a super cute book. All right, and I just left them all together because I thought it was kind of neat to do it that way. Just a piece of graph paper, and then there's some, a tag, and just, I think that's just, you know, just a card. And I backed all of them with, again, I used Stephanie at My Porch Prints, has these lovely backgrounds that come with her kits. And this one came from the Bee Journal, the Beekeeper Journal kit. So I used her backgrounds on the backs of the ephemera. I'm gonna try to get that in there. All right, this is some vintage sheet music, so 12 Days of Christmas. And then I have a little, this is a vintage Jingle Bell. It's old. And this is newer fabric. Ruffle. And then some tea-dyed paper and some more ephemera tucked in there. And then this was just some stationery that I had, so I folded it in half and added some vintage red lace. I made these little tags with this Tim Holtz thing. I can't remember what it's called. It's some sort of press. I got it at Tuesday morning, and honestly, I had no idea what it was when I bought it. I had to look it up. But anyway, it just makes these little metal ring tags, and the little circles inside were actually directly from Debbie's kit, Ephemera's Vintage Garden. And then I just added some eyelash trim and put that on with a garment pin. And then this is one of those book pages I was talking about. It's not a vintage book, but it has these gorgeous images of vintage Christmas things, like greeting cards and things of that nature. And then I added 2 of these. These are, they're trading cards. They're vintage. They look like playing cards, but they don't have the playing card, you know, stuff on the back. So I thought this cardinal just kind of, it was red and it had the pine leaves in the back, or the pine branches in the background. So I added that in there. And then I added a little Santa charm to this tuck spot. And then the tag is from Ephemera's Vintage Garden. And then I had, these came out of one of those books. So it's a vintage, or it's an old recipe, but new printing, if that makes sense. So anyway, it has the recipe on the back for roast venison. So it's kind of, they're books, I got them at Ollie's, I believe. They're just showing, you know, what life was like at Christmas in the 1700s and 1800s. This is a page, a background page from the kit. And then this actually is a vintage ledger page from Tailor Made Journals. So that's what I used on the back of those. And then again, another one of those book pages, an ad, old timey ad. This is from the printable kit. So I just doubled that up so you could have, you know, a space for December. And then if you wanted to start planning in November or, you know, into the new year, you'd have 2 little calendar places. And then this I made in the 3 and 30 challenge last week. So that I just made a tuck spot out of that for the calendar. And then some more ephemera here from the kit. And then this is Tim Holtz. And then there are envelopes, and inside each of the envelopes, and there are also bags that we'll get to in a second, I have printed out lists from Debbie's kit. So in this one, we have grocery lists and shopping lists. So you can use these any way you want. You can not use them at all if you'd rather. I backed them with some of her background page. So I just added them in here, and there might be some that you like, and there might be, you know, topics that you don't need. And, you know, like I said, feel free to do whatever you wish with them. They're just, you know, just places to plan for the holidays. All right, so that goes in there. This is a sticker from IKEA that I got last Christmas. I believe it was last Christmas. And then some more tags and ephemera in here. Some primary school paper that's tea-dyed. This was a greeting card that I just cut in half. And then I just put, this was a button, and I took the shaft off the back of it so it could be glued down. And then just some little ephemera in the back here. Little tag with an Brad and a little journaling spot. And then there's a fabric flip. This is vintage fabric here. This is just some ruffle I had in my stash. And then here's the bag I was talking about. So it's tea-dyed. And then in this one, there are 3 sheets of paper as well, things to do. So I just folded them like that because, one, I thought it was pretty, and they fit in there better. They wouldn't have fit the other way. So, and then some more, you know, space for writing. Christmas is my favorite holiday. So I think that's why this got horribly out of hand. I couldn't stop. So instead of making like 4 journals, I just shoved it all into one. But yeah, anyway, some fabric ruffle up here. This is more from that book that I have. Some journaling spots there. And then some more paper. And then that. And then this is, I had a few of these postcards. And if you can see, they're all, it's those really delicate glass Christmas ornaments. It's just all different kinds. And I got this from an estate sale. And yeah, so I just tucked, I think I have 2 of them in here. And then on this page, this is a cover from some Christmas sheet music that I folded in half and turned into a page. And then these adorable little books, Jennifer and I found at a used bookstore when I was in Florida, and it is the cutest thing ever. So I took the pages out of the book, and there are 3 of these little booklets. So there are 2 pieces in 2 pieces from the book in each of the booklets, and then I added just some paper inside as well. So they're just removable little, but look how cute that is. Oh my gosh. Yeah. So cute. So those can be taken out and used, you know, in various ways. And I just have them attached with a bulldog clip with some ribbon there. All right, and now we're on to the second signature. So this is Tim Holtz ephemera, and then I decorated the Christmas tree with a little star charm and some flat back pearls and a little gold rickrack, and I just thought that was so cute. I was so excited. More of that Santa seam binding. Another little notepad on the back here. This time we have some bells tied on there. And then the next pages from the little golden book. And you'll see we're repeating now, so graph paper, so it just kind of, you know, like so. And then here we have another piece of vintage sheet music with another bell, And you can take these off. These are just attached with garment pins, so if that annoys you, just take them off. That's fine. You know, I try not to put things on permanently if I think that they might just annoy people. And then here behind this piece of ephemera, I made a little shaker in the style of Jennifer, Add a Trace of Sparkle. I absolutely love this. So I used my Big Kick and cut out this ticket shape. And I used, this is some scrapbook paper here from Michaels, and then some of the vintage sheet music. And then I covered it with, if you can see, it's like gold sparkly tulle. I'm not sure if it's gonna show up real well. And then I just filled it with red and green and gold sequins, and there's some beads in there. And then I made a bow and added it to the top. Oh my gosh, I'm in love with that. I feel like a little kid, sit and shake that all day. So that just tucks in there. And then we have another one of these little tags that I made. And then this little tuck spot up there. Some more book page. This is a vintage postage label that I got in an antique mall. So I tucked that in there, and some Tim Holtz ephemera. And then we have another of the little booklets. Oh my gosh, I am absolutely in love with these images. I mean, those little kids are so cute. It's darling. Look at the little bird. Yeah, too cute. I need to get my hands on more of those that author's or that illustrator's books. I actually tried to order one that was called Emily, and I did order it. And they sent me a message a couple days after I ordered it saying they were refunding my money because they didn't actually have it anymore in stock. They had accidentally listed it on eBay and didn't have it. And I was so bummed because it was the cutest thing, but that's neither here nor there. I'll have to look again in the future. All right, and then there's another recipe card for lemon chess pie, which I don't know, sounds amazing to me. So you could try these recipes out and see what you think. And in this one, we have some more sheets of paper. These are just blank, like, you know, not blank, but they don't have a topic on them. So you could label them anything you want. There's two different styles. And then this puzzle piece, I got the puzzle piece without the fluff in a swap. I don't know who made it. It didn't have, that I know of, it didn't have a name on it, but I turned it into a paper clip. I added, this is a piece of Tim Holtz ephemera, and I added the floofy eyelash trim here, and I just made it into a paper clip, and that just holds on that journaling card there. So you can move that around, you can take it out, you can do whatever you'd like with it. This is another greeting card that I just took the front off of to make a page. And then you've got some more ephemera from the kit and Tim Holtz ephemera, another vintage fabric flip. And then in this one, you have your party guest list sheets. If you're having Christmas parties, you can keep track of RSVPs and things like that. And then some more little pieces here. Another page from that book. And then I created this little tuck spot. This is what the little jingle bells were actually attached to. So I just added these really pretty glittery brads and a piece of that gold rickrack. And I covered up there was a price sticker I couldn't get off. So I covered it up with this Tim Holtz ephemera and added some of that glittery gold tulle to the hole that was already there and made it into a tuck spot. So I thought that was super cute. It was so exciting to finally dig into my Christmas you know, stash, as I have so much stuff set aside for Christmas and you can really only use it, you know, one time a year. So I was super excited. And then another cover from a vintage sheet music book. I thought those kids were cute. They look like they're having fun. And then this was the coffee sleeve pocket that I made in my 3 and 30 challenge this past week. And now we're on to the last signature. This is Tim Holtz Ephemera, a little wreath charm there. Another booklet here. We've got some holly and berries. And then the last pages in the book. And then some graph paper, some more vintage sheet music, and a pocket from the kit and a tag from the kit. And then this, another jingle bell here. And some more ephemera. This was another one of those trading cards. I just liked the birds in the snow. Thought that was cute. And that's Tim, no, that's from the kit as well, this piece. And then another one of those little circle tags there. Notebook paper, another page from that book. I love the images. I'm just gonna lift this up to make it a little easier to turn the pages. Some advertising from the 20s. Pretty neat. This was actually a pocket that I had in my stash, but I added this piece here from Tim Holtz, and this is also Tim Holtz and the little Brad, but that was perfect. And then you've got a recipe for Bishop's Punch and a little journaling space. And then in this envelope, we have a checklist for, you know, sending out your Christmas cards. And then there's 3 of those, and then 3 sheets that say stockings checklist. So if you're putting together stockings for family and friends, you can keep track of what you have acquired, what you have put together, that kind of thing. And if you're like me and you don't plan any of that, just use the sheets of paper to journal on. Because I am not, I am horrible at planning. I mean, I kind of plan, but I never actually write it down. I just store it all in my brain, which causes great stress, but I can't seem to learn to, you know, just actually write it down. This was a greeting card that had a cutout there in that square. So I folded it in half. And I stamped Merry and Bright onto some vellum, and then I just glued the card together. And then there's a little belly band, that's Tim Holtz, and some journaling space in there. Another piece of vintage fabric. Look at the little puppies. Oh my gosh. I can't wait for Oscar to have Christmas. It's gonna be so much fun. He'll probably eat my tree, but that's okay. My cats have been eating my tree for years. And then this is 6 pages. They're all the same for addresses. So if you are sending Christmas cards, you can keep track of addresses, or when you get Christmas cards from people that you don't have their address, you could write it down in there. And the final little booklet here. Look at how cute that is. Oh my gosh. And I did have to take it apart in such a way that you probably don't have complete recipes. It was a little cookie recipe book. But it's just kind of how it had to happen. Jennifer and I shared the book, and we just kind of, you know, took the signatures apart and then just, you know, took half each of us. So you know how that it just doesn't, you don't really get consecutive pages that way. So it's more just, you know, it's cute. All right, and then there's a little tuck spot. And I love this. Wake up, it's Christmas. I remember when my kids would just like, I'd catch them at 3 in the morning trying to sneak downstairs. They say it was only 1 year, but that's the year I caught them. This is the cover from some sheet music. I folded it in half. And then on the back here, this is the tuck spot I made in the 3 and 30. And then I just added that another one of those postcards and a little journaling spot there. And that is it. That is it. It's huge, right? I know. But I think it's awesome. I'm very, very, very happy with it. So I left the ribbons kind of long so you can adjust as needed. They're just tied in a bow, nothing more than that. You can cut these threads if you don't like those. You can add, you can take out, you can, you know, make it your own. That's what I like about this type of book. It's, you know, yeah, I made it huge, but you could take it apart and just use what you want. Also included, Debbie had a lot of pieces in this kit that I didn't want to glue down myself because they're, you know, they're kind of, I'll show you. So there are these are all just little glassine envelopes. And I just used a paper clip and attached some pretty sheer ribbon. So you can, after you've used what's inside, you could use the envelopes and the paper clips in your journal, you know, for other things. But there's 2 different number types, I'm gonna say. This one is like very eclectic. You've got numbers, you know, but it's 1 through 31. So for the days of December, basically. So you have that style. Oops. And then just plain, like just circles with the numbers on them. They're not plain, they're very pretty. So let me set that one aside. And then these are just little circles. So some of them have it in numeric form and some of them have it written out. So those are cute. So I didn't, obviously there's no way I can put those in your book, right? Whoever gets this would have to, you know, they're gonna decide what they wanna do with it. So they're inked up, they're all cut out, they're ready to go. You also have an envelope with months on them. So there's 2 different styles and you get November, December, and January in each style. So you can use those however you would like, or not at all. However, you know, whatever you want to do. I didn't want to exclude them, but I also didn't want to assume that I knew what the owner would want to do with the book. The next one is just a bunch of words and phrases relating to Christmas. So again, they're all inked up and ready to go, so you can glue those in. And the final one is kind of goes along with the sheets of paper that are in the envelopes and the bags. So you could label your envelopes and bags according to what you're keeping inside, if that makes sense. So again, that, you know, that's for you to do because I don't know what the owner's going to want to keep track of. And then there are some blank ones. I think there are, is there 6? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5? 5 blank ones so you can create your own. So yeah, that's it. That is it, guys. That is my massive December daily slash planner slash journal slash ginormous book. I hope you liked it. If you did, give me a thumbs up. I would love to know what you think. Give me a comment below and tell me your favorite part. Tell me if you think it's nuts. And then I'm gonna do the same thing that I've been doing recently. If you are interested in purchasing this, it is available. I don't necessarily want to put it on Etsy. The fees and stuff are just killing me. So if you are interested, you can contact me at my email address, which is in the description box below, and I can let you know the price and all the details, and then we would just do everything through PayPal, which is completely safe. I would have a tracking number for you and all of that good stuff. And yeah, so just let me know if you're interested. And it'll be obviously first come, first serve. So I'll just have to look at, you know, if there's more than one person interested, it'll be whoever emailed me first and whoever, you know, decides they actually want it after we discuss price and stuff. So, all right, guys, I'm gonna let you go for now. I promise to be back soon with the next part in my Artsology design team project, but it probably won't be until Tuesday, because Mondays are my 3 in 30. Maybe I'll incorporate that into the 3 in 30. That's actually not a bad idea. So it might be Monday. I hope you have a fantastic weekend, and hope you enjoy the weather wherever you are. I know it's supposed to be nice and chilly tomorrow here in Cincinnati, so I'm super excited. So I hope you have some time to do something fun this weekend, and I will see you guys next week. Take care. Bye.